Well, I'm a senior reporter in Dallas, and I remember the very first time I ever saw Gloria Campos. It was 1988, and I was flipping through the news channels, and there she was anchoring the news. And Gloria, you and I had really big hair back then. It was stunning at the time, though, because pretty much everyone else on the news at WFAA was white. I knew I wanted to be a TV journalist, so I picked up the phone and I called Gloria. I was shocked when she returned my message. I said something like, "I love you on television. What can I do to be like you?" She told me she was gathering some students for a television project for a group called NAHJ. She asked me if I wanted to be in that project. I was a college student at the time at the University of North Texas, so I jumped at the chance. It was the first student TV project for NAHJ, and it certainly didn't look like this. I think we were shooting 3/4 inch back then. But from that day forward, she has been my friend and my mentor. She has always felt that it was important as a Latina to help other Latinas. There is not a selfish bone in this woman's body. I have watched her give thousands and thousands of dollars away to charity, give of her time and talent to help aspiring journalists, and spends countless of hours in the community. I have watched in awe as she has interviewed presidents, first ladies, and even anchored a newscast with Oprah. And Oprah thanked her because, Gloria, you out-anchored Oprah. Gloria has kicked open doors for many of us. When positions open up at the station, Gloria is the first in the news director's office saying, "Hire more Latinos." She is fearless when it comes to fighting for equality, demanding fair pay and fair representation in our newsroom. I would not be where I am today without her help, support, and advice. Gloria, enjoy the glory being bestowed on you tonight because you deserve it. And I wish I had more time to talk more and more about what an amazing woman you are, but they only gave me 2 minutes, and I love you. Congratulations.
That the congressman is accusing you of being Goldfinger.
This is such a joke.
Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. I want to thank you for being with us.
And feather the entire Tea Party movement.
I'm Katie Couric, also tonight.
In a profession dominated by elevated egos, driven by cynical consultants, and the never-ending quest for higher ratings, one name, one voice, one woman stands above the rest and shines as a beacon of journalistic excellence.
Oh, no! Come on, Kevin. Stick to the facts, please.
Okay, Gloria, whatever you say. Let's start at the beginning. In a world that was innocent and...
Hey, Kevin, this isn't a Terminator movie.
Well, you're no fun, are you? The Gloria Campos story begins with the wedding of Robert and Gaudi Campos in 1953. After an apparent wild honeymoon in New Orleans, Gloria was born 9 months later and grew up in the Texas border town of Harlingen. Glo would graduate from Harlingen High School and immediately headed off to San Marcos, where she graduated 4 years later with a degree in journalism from Southwest Texas State University and returned to the Valley to work for her hometown TV station.
This is the News Center 4 10 o'clock report, June 1st, 1983.
This man is looking into phony marriages that may have provided Mexican nationals with immigration visas. Good evening. The District Office of the Immigration and Naturalization Service in Harlingen is investigating the phony marriage scheme.
Might cost a bit more, but it sure cuts down on a lot of the headaches you get.
All that to shoot those little bitty birds, huh?
Yeah, that's just about it.
Okay.
It was during this time she met the handsome, witty, talented Lance Brown, who worked with her at KGBT.
What?
Hey, don't blame me. He wrote this.
That figures. Go ahead.
As I was saying, the two married the next year and would be together at the station for another 6 years, where Gloria fine-tuned her skills, working as a reporter, photographer, editor, producer, as well as a news anchor before she got the call to come to Dallas.
The spirit of Texas on air.
This is the News 8 Update. Gloria Campos.
Here in Dallas, some Catholic church leaders say the difference in religious and moral beliefs among young Catholics could be one reason why fundraising for Pope John Paul's visit to Texas is down. Channel 8.
From covering the president of the White House to anchoring Super Bowl week, Gloria has had some unique moments.
Oh, please, not that, for goodness sakes.
I'm Star Jones, and I have my tape and my resume. I'm applying for an anchor job. But I know Gloria Campos, and she's the #1 anchor in this market, so she's my girlfriend. I should be able to apply.
Star Jones, what are you doing here?
Gloria, can you hook a sister up? Come on.
I told you there were no job openings.
But wait a minute now. You have some pull around here.
Well, let's see what we can do.
Glo couldn't help Star Jones, who had to go job hunting for real not long after that. Gloria has received many honors and awards over the years, but her biggest and most rewarding challenge came with the birth of her twin sons, Anthony and Gregory, in 1993.
15-year-old Tiffany and I get a private tour of the Texas Discovery Gardens Butterfly House at Fair Park. The colorful insects bring big smiles to a teen who hasn't always had much to smile about. Tiffany's confidence is growing. Now she's ready to let love and trust bloom in her heart again.
Happy planting.
This is so nice.
No, it was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
For over 2 decades, Wednesday's Child has been an example of Gloria's involvement in the North Texas community. It's just one of the many ways Gloria has tried to give back to a community that has been so good to her, and other people have noticed.
Gloria Campos is a TV news legend in Dallas. She'll be sharing her anchor desk with me.
And who can you trust more than Oprah? One woman, one world.
Well, I hope that by that video, you know that I don't take myself too seriously. But I take this honor very seriously. First, I want to say how proud and happy I am to be inducted in the NAHJ Hall of Fame with such a distinguished professional as Ray Suarez. I've been an admirer of yours for a long time, and we've been to many of these conferences together. I want to thank the selection committee, the NAHJ Board of Directors, the hardest working staff. They do it all. Brandon Benavides, Elizabeth Zavala, who were so instrumental in my nomination, Rebecca Lopez, my dear sweet friend, who also wrote a nice letter on the nomination, Catherine Anaya, our good friend from KPHO in Arizona, Vicente Arenas from KHOU, who are here to support me tonight. And my family. Those twins are now going to be 17 years old. And my husband, Lance, who put together that video. We have been together for almost 33 years. You know, when you start getting awards like this, it gives you a chance to reflect on your life and your career. 34 years. When I look back at it, I can't believe it's happened to me. In that time, we went to no Latinos in newsroom. Although we have 22%, that's a lot better than it was in 1976 when I graduated college. Yet today, in 2010, we are looking at the most fervent anti-Latino legislation and fever in our country that I have seen in my lifetime. It is very disturbing to me to see talk show hosts frame the discussion on immigration. They are not journalists, but they are they're fanning the flames of hate in our country today. What the media says matters. What we say as Latino journalists matters. We must stand up in our newsrooms
to make sure that coverage of this very complicated issue is covered accurately and fairly. We must be leaders in our newsrooms. We cannot stand by idly and listen to this talk of hate go unchecked. We must stand up. It is our duty to do that for our community. The late, great Marty Haig and I were talking about news coverage. And he said something to me that I think is really appropriate for the times we're living in. He said, the best antidote for fear is information. That's how you combat this talk of hate, this misinformation. Just this week, we hear the governor of Arizona accusing illegal immigrants of being drug runners and pawns for the drug cartels. Now, we know that there is an element of crime, of course, but not every illegal alien is a drug runner and a pawn for the cartels. We cannot let that kind of talk go unchecked. It hurts me, as you can tell, that people just like us would be treated as less than human. I will tell you that as a young reporter, I wasn't always confident. When I moved to Dallas in 1984, which coincidentally is the birth year of NAHJ, I went from being a big fish in a small pond to a little fish in a big pond. And many times I seriously wondered whether I had made the right decision to leave my little small market from 125 to top 10. To be a reporter. That was my first job at WFAA. So I immersed myself in my community. And one day, someone came up to me and said, Gloria, when I see you on TV, I see myself. And I thought to myself, if this person believes in me, then I better start believing in myself. I owe that to them. You see, I may work for WFAA, but my viewers, they're my bosses. I work for them. We have many young people here tonight who are aspiring to have a job like mine, and I'm here for you. I want you to know that you need to dream big. I once heard a federal judge say that excellence knows no discrimination. The best and the brightest will always succeed. Make it your job to be the best and the brightest in your newsroom, and you will go far. When you get an award like a Hall of Fame, it's not what you set out to do as a journalist, is it, Ray? We don't seek accolades. But I'm telling you, standing here today, I never dreamed that I would be a news anchor for a top 10 station, actually a number 1 station in a top 10 market. I never dreamed it. I never dreamed that my job would give me the opportunity to travel the world and to see the Mona Lisa. When I was a little girl, I dreamed of Europe, but I thought I would never be able to get there. But maybe if I was a reporter, I could. I never dreamed I would stand in the Oval Office and interview a president and a first lady, but I did. I never, ever dreamed I would be in the Hall of Fame of the NAHJ, but here I am. So I'm telling you tonight, you young people, I want you to dream the biggest, grandest vision of yourself and make it come true. I'm standing here telling you, dreams do come true. Thank you so much for this tremendous honor.